Hello, Zeteo here. Today we're doing some more speed analysis casting. We're taking a look at a match between Jamerz and Masterbel2 playing on Prismatic Anomaly. This is one of our newer maps that was just uploaded, I believe last weekend. It's created by Zagoopy. I believe it's their first map, but I'm really not sure if that's 100% true. But anyways, let's get into it.
Game started.
Alright, so at the bottom left here, we got Masterbel2. Spawned as our red Armada player. And in the top center, we have Jamerz spawned as our blue guy. Both playing Armada. This map is interesting. It's kind of more of like a, CCR, Comet Catcher remake, which is a very old school TA map. It's been around with this style of RTS for a very long time. And it's very similar in that there's no wind. The metal is spread out, but a little bit bigger than normal. And typically it's a little bit of a slower start because you have to start with solar. There's no water, there's no winds, like you just gotta do solar type of thing. So we got a vehicle lab from Jamerz, and we have another vehicle lab for Masterbel. So far it is a mirror matchup. I do want to talk about a little bit that Masterbel is a very old school player, has won tournaments in Balanced Annihilation, which is the predecessor to Bar. A very, very good player that has taught a lot of players how to play really, really well, and continues to do so. He's one of the academy managers, continues to do replay analysis and whatnot for people that submit reviews. So if you want to do that, you can just, create a thread in the academy chat in the main Discord and put your replay on there and ping mentor, and somebody will get to you and do that analysis. Masterbel has been doing a lot of really good analysis. He in fact does it on Twitch, so you can actually join him live. So I highly recommend joining his channel and taking a look at that. He breaks it down in very fine detail too. But anyways, let's take a look at this match here. Now, because you have a solar opener on this kind of map, you typically don't make a construction turret early. You just can't afford it because you're spending all your initial metal on those solars, and you just don't really have the energy worked up to utilize it either. So you're just too low on resources to do that. So typically players will expand their commander just because it's good to have your commander out on the map and taking key positions. A lot of little engagements here. I'm a little bit distracted by it. This mech has gone down for Masterbel. I don't believe the same damage has been dealt to Jamerz. So Jamerz sitting on some better economy at the moment. Actually, not so much. I was gonna say I'm sorry, he is sitting on a better economy. I mixed up the colors there for a moment. Please forgive me. But yeah, Masterbel with his commander out to expand should be able to catch up. As long as he's expanding a lot. It looks like he skipped this mech here, electing to go forward a little bit further to have a more central position with his commander here. And that little bit of metal income advantage that Jamerz has worked up is going to allow him to have a few more units out a little bit faster. I mean, maybe it's not big enough to really have that many more units. And I suppose a lot of the units are rovers, so it's really not that much more power that Jamerz has at that point, I suppose. But yeah, Masterbel just kind of moving units across the map. Now, in case you're wondering about the unit movement here, like why doesn't he just go straight north? The reason is, if you cut across the map, if your opponent's on the right side and you're on the left side, it's good to go diagonal because it protects the stuff back here. So, just his unit movement is protecting this con and making it difficult for Jamerz to send raiding units to attack it. So it's just kind of like a move to parry these blitzes and make sure that they're not harassing that con in the corner. But this is also allowing Jamerz to expand pretty rapidly with this constructor up here. So he's got 2 constructors out expanding, actually 3 constructors out expanding. His commander's still boosting, which may not be as powerful here just because you don't really have the metal income to do a lot of boosting with just your command, or with your commander there. Masterbel actually working up a little bit of energy, decides to add on another con to build some solar. Certainly needs to do that if he wants to continue growing. But yeah, look at this forward position here by Masterbel. He's actually starting to go on Jamerz' side of the map. So yeah, he's just moved his commander up this way. And you might be curious to know why, why move like that. The reason is pretty simple. If you move in this direction, like you're moving towards your enemy, and that's putting a lot of pressure on them, and that means that they have to respect it, they have to respond to it, and that makes it harder for them to raid. At the same time, personally, I'd like to go this way so that you control the center, because the center, like, that just means you have to go around, and it takes a lot longer to do things like raids. But with how it is, yeah, Masterbel might be choosing to do this because that protects this left-hand side and makes it so you can cut in this way, making sure that Jamerz doesn't keep these expansions going on. Okay, we have a comm snipe attempts here from Jamerz, trying to go for Masterbel's commander, but he doesn't have enough. That one D-gun was enough to deter this, and with all those blitzes coming up here from Masterbel, he's able to absorb some damage for his commander and survive. So he's sitting pretty good now. With that, I mean, I think this is going to apply a lot more pressure to Jamerz, but at the same time, Jamerz is getting a little bit of damage in for himself. He took out a couple of solar, took out all those mexes, and, it's kind of easy for Masterbel to rebuild that because he has all this build power at his base. But at the same time, Jamerz needs to make moves like that if he's going to continue on here, because that was just so many units lost there on Masterbel's commander. Now, with that, losing the blitzes on its commander and losing those blitzes at Masterbel's base, you're kind of, in that situation, you're kind of trading your blitzes in to destroy infrastructure, which can be a good move, but also in this particular situation, it means Jamerz does not have that many units because he sacrificed units on those buildings, sacrificed units trying to go for the commander, and now I think he's kind of in a bind here. Masterbel, as long as he's careful with his units, should maintain the lead here, I believe. But it's going to be down to, how good Masterbel rebuilds. And if you take a look at his base here, he's got so many constructors out here. He's built on those, the solars pretty quickly. He rebuilt all those mexes, so I think he's sitting pretty good here and in a very good position here, despite not actually doing too much damage to the Jamerz here, at least in terms of infrastructure. So both players actually dead even on metal income. But Masterbel a little bit ahead on build power, a little bit ahead on energy. Even the army value, of course, a little bit ahead too. And now Jamerz commander moving out to play as well. Going to meet Masterbel's commander. And Masterbel actually making a vehicle plant in the middle here. This is a very strong move. And it's kind of risky. Like, if this position gets taken out, like, obviously you don't want to lose the lab. But having a lab in this position does mean that you can make those slower, powerful units right in Jamerz' face, and Jamerz needs to respect that. If he doesn't, then Jamerz isn't going to be in he's just going to lose this frontal position and possibly his base. So Jamerz sitting back, maybe realizes what's going on, sees what's on, what's going on in terms of the radar, and realizes he can't really send these out to harass too much. He kind of needs to respect this position. And now look at this. We got these Janus coming up here, taking out the LLTs. This is a big threat to the commander. The commander backs up a little bit, needs to be careful. And it's trying to put down LLTs to prevent, those Janus from getting too close to his commander. But yeah, Jamerz, I think, realizing that the situation's pretty bleak, tries to maybe do a raid. Unfortunately, his units are just kind of sitting here, though, allowing Masterbel's blitzes to just kind of jump on them. And I think this is going to be a really good trade for Masterbel, taking out a lot of those vehicles that are just getting stuck between, the Prism here and, all the wrecks of the fallen blitzes that also were taken out. Jamerz decides to press on anyways, tries to go for that back corner expansion to make sure that Masterbel isn't rapidly expanding behind this forward position. I think that's a really smart play to do, but at the same time, he's got to be really careful here. There's medium tanks now joining this cluster of units, and even artillery popping out to deal with the LLTs. I don't think Jamerz commander is going to be able to stick around too long without those LLTs, so he's got to be really, really careful. Meanwhile, Bell using his blitzes to make sure that he's keeping his back positions here. But yeah, I think he's going to be losing that con as this blitz assaults it. And also maybe, okay, no, he's not going to lose any more mexes at the bottom corner, but yeah, I mean, I think this is a tricky thing. Masterbel has done a really good job with defense, taking out those blitzes as they press forward. But I think Jamerz, feeling under the pressure from this forward position here, feels like he really needs to keep Masterbel back. If Masterbel has a lot of resources and is able to produce a lot of units at this location. That's going to be a lot of hurt on Jamerz. So, yeah, I'm not sure what Jamerz can do at this point, considering he wasn't able to do all that much damage in the back there. Masterbel, you know, has more units out for sure at this point. Very big lead in terms of that. And he's able to raid as well as keep this frontal position. So yeah, Jamerz, you know, he gets out of there with his commander. He's trying to expand. He's trying to keep up.
Game paused. Game started.
Sorry, the pausing a little bit distracting, but yeah, his commander's moving on to expand, realizing that he's probably a little bit behind on income here. And Masterbel makes a move. He's moving his forces, his stouts, and his Janus up here to take on the blue army. And now joining up with the blitzes, this is certainly a very powerful army here, especially with the Janus able to do, you know, big AoE damage to these clusters of units. And I think Masterbel's doing a really good job, just like, you know, keeping his army together and forcing these slower units that thought maybe they could, you know, do some damage to these clusters of stouts and Janus, you know, reinforced with those blitzes, can't really keep up with that army supply. So especially now that Masterbel has all this build power, he's a lot of momentum on his side. He has a bank of metal. He just needs a little bit more energy coming in. This is going to be very, very deadly. Jamerz, you know, maybe squeezed between these two, you know, prisms here. It's really hard to reinforce this position. And I think he's going to take a lot of damage here as Masterbel moves in for the killing damage here. Takes out the converters, takes out all the you know, solar collectors here. And Jamerz certainly feeling the pressure. His commander's all the way in the corner, by the way. So as much damage as that is happening here, as long as his commander's alive, he can maybe rebuild, maybe build a factory. Right now, still working on building some more metal. But yeah, Masterbel just sending his units across towards the commander, you know, knowing that he's basically done enough damage to the base here that there's really not much Jamerz can do. Just making sure that Jamerz isn't rebuilding with his commander. So I think this is a really powerful move just to, you know, do a lot of damage to the base, but also make sure Jamerz isn't rebuilding somewhere else and getting back into this game. And now lots of guns coming out here from Jamerz, but there's a lot of scouts, a lot of medium tanks. Jamerz doing an excellent job killing the stouts first, making sure that the things that can actually deal damage are being taken out. But yeah, there's so many rovers here and there's so many units coming in that I think eventually it's just going to be too much here. So Jamerz probably going to go down here in a moment, because yeah, there's not much he can do at this point. It's just too in favor for Masterbel. Jamerz going into the corner now, doing what he can, but he's running low on energy for his D-guns, and the commander goes down. What a match here.
Battle ended.
Very interesting play from Masterbel, just going into that corner position. Or sorry, not corner position, but just this forward position here. You know, producing things like Janus and stouts at this position while also still producing raiders in the back. So the raiders able to defend, go across the map, you know, diagonally, I should say, and then able to cut off the raiding units from Jamerz and deal with them. And that kind of just protects everything, right? It just allows him to freely expand down here. And, you know, with all the pressure up front, it's like, what can Jamerz really do other than like try to raid a little bit, you know, because you can't really just take out this position so easily when they have the big powerful units there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this cast. It was a pretty quick one here at 1.5 times speed. Let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy this faster paced analysis. I know I stumble around my words a little bit more when it's this fast paced. But hopefully I'm catching everything and explaining everything pretty well. Also, let me know if you prefer this music over the Command & Conquer music that I play in my other casts. Go check out those casts if you haven't. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.